Hi guys, so I'm going to review the brand new Medela Pump and Style MaxFlow that was sent to me from the Stellar Product Testing Panel. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and I'm going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and if I recommend this pump. So this pump costs $375 Canadian and about 200 US. So to start off with the pros, it has the MaxFlow technology, which basically means it pumps milk more efficiently, like on hospital grade pump level, they say, which is basically the gold standard for suction. Now for me, compared to the last pump that I was using, I actually did notice a slight increase in milk output in that I filled the bottles that I used to pump sooner than what I was used to seeing before I started using this pump. And so for me, that's fantastic because pumping can be a real pain, and the less time I'm stuck to the pump, the better. And so when you're pumping, you can actually see the your breast tissue vibrating right here through this little window in the shield. So I guess that's the micro vibrations that they're talking about, and it feels kind of nice. It feels different. So I think they're onto something with that, and that is what is supposed to be, you know, helping you. I think that's part of the reason why this pump provides more output than other pumps. I tried filming it doing the vibration when you first start the machine. I tried filming it on like a balloon or on another part of my skin, but the camera wasn't picking it up because they're micro vibrations. But nonetheless, you can see it when you're doing it yourself. Now this pump comes with two different sizes of shields. So this is a 21 millimeter, and it also comes with the 24 millimeter shields. And that's great because if the shield that they are supposed to use before, Medela would just give you one size, and if that doesn't fit you, then you have to go buy another one. But you know, boobs come in all different shapes and sizes so having different sizes is fantastic. These shields are also not round, they're oval. And I like that because, you know, you can put it on like this or like that. Like, you know, you have to kind of move it around to figure out what works best for your anatomy. And they have this plastic around, this rubber around the plastic, which goes on your skin. So it's supposed to be more comfortable. And I do really like that more than just the shields that come with the plastic. Now, the other thing that I really like about this pump is that it is easy to clean. So you just have this connector that you open. Why am I not being... Okay, so you open it like this, and inside you find the membrane. So it has no small parts. It just has the connector, this membrane, and this bottle. These are the... and the shield. These are the four things that you have to clean. So I just pop them into the top rack of my dishwasher, but you can also you know, boil it or sanitize using one of those sanitized machines or those sanitized bags, or use warm soapy water. But it's, you know, like not too many parts, not, you know, it doesn't have small parts that you can easily lose. And then to put it back, just pop the connector back on. Now you have to be careful that you don't put it on the wrong way, because it took me a while to learn that it goes on this way. Otherwise it won't close. So you just pop this on, click it back into place, screw it into the bottle, and put the shield on. Now a little tip that I want to give you guys is, I'm sure you've heard this before, but if not, use a pumping bra. If you can buy one, try to get one. It is so much easier, especially if you're going to be somebody who pumps a lot. It makes life a lot easier, but they can be a little pricey. So what I did, a little hack, was I took one of my old bras that doesn't really fit anymore, and I cut holes in it. And you know, this pump makes it really easy to use the old hole in bra technique, because you just I just, you know, put the shields on in the inner part of the bra. I put the shield through that hole, and then on the outside I put the connector part, and there you go. Now I have a cheap hands-free bra. So there's that. The other thing that I really also like is the accessories that this pump comes with. So this bag that Medela gives you, it's really nice. It feels good, and it doesn't scream pump bags. So it can be used as a diaper bag or a small little snack bag or something like that. It's a really nice feeling, nice quality bag that has, the ability to be versatile for whatever you need. They also give you this cooler, which most Medela pumps come with, and 4 bottles and an ice pack. So that's nice to have some extra stuff. Now, I don't use my pump, this specific pump, as a portable pump because I have a portable pump. But if you wanted to use it once in a while, you have the option to use it as such because they give you a battery pack, which takes 8 AA batteries. So if you want to use it if you really need to use it once in a while as a portable pump, or for some reason, you don't have power in your house and you really need to pump, you have that option, which is really great. Now, the other thing I really like is that this pump is a closed system. So that just means that when you're pumping, none of the milk or, I think even condensation will go inside the machine or inside the pipe, inside the tubing, which is great because then you don't have to worry about cleaning the tubing or, milk getting stuck here and getting all gross and moldy. It's more hygienic, and I think, that's the way a pump should be. The other thing also that I really like about this pump is that the design is so simple. As you can see, you just have these 4 buttons. You have the on and off button, the expression button, and the increase and decrease buttons. So for a new mom who's already so overwhelmed with everything, the simplicity of this design is great. Some people might not like the lack of customization, but for me, I really enjoy that it's just, really simple to use. So I really like that for the most part. I really like that it's simple. And I mean, you have a manual that is pretty comprehensive and goes over everything and, makes it easy to use. But if you're somebody who's not a big manual person and it's your first time pumping, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. But I will quickly go over how this pump works. So there is this one thing that they mention in the instructions. So what you need to do is you take your tubing. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I really like that both the tubes are in like one compact tube rather than you having to deal with 2 separate tubes. So you take this part of the tubing, put it inside the pump. You take the other, put it on the connector, and then you turn your machine on. So you hear that sound? So that's the micro vibrations you're gonna see on your breast tissue. And once you start to see milk coming out into the bottle is when you press this expression button. And I don't know if you can hear, but the sound has changed. And then you use the increase button and the decrease button until you feel comfortable pumping and there's no pain. So, that's it. That's really all there is to it. And when you're done, you turn it off and you're done. So those are the things that I really, really enjoyed about this pump. But there are some things that I wasn't a really big fan of. And the very first thing, I don't know if you guys heard it yet or not, but this pump is pretty loud. Let me turn it on again. So pumps tend to be loud because, there's a motor working. So, I mean, some pumps are louder than others, but I don't think there's really any pump out there that you can't hear at all. But this guy is pretty loud. And the higher the speed, the louder it gets. Now, I know most people are not going to use it at the highest speed, which is this. Yeah, it's not a quiet pump. And then to go along with that, the other thing that I don't like is that you can't just hold the decrease button or the increase button down. You have to go click, 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 click. So you can't just hold it up. You have to go click, 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 click. So, that can get kind of annoying. And so, I'm just going to turn this off for a second. The other thing that, along with this whole, pump interface, since we're on the topic of that. The other thing that I don't like is that they don't give you a little screen here to tell you what speed you're on. I know I said that I like how simple this design is, but a little screen just to tell you what speed you're on would have been nice, because I find that when I am done pumping and then the next time I want to pump, you have to, either remember how many clicks you used to go up and down, or where you were like that, or you have to go increase, decrease, increase until you feel comfortable. Every time you sit down to pump, you have to play around with it to see where you feel comfortable. So that's the only thing I would add to this. And this design is just a tiny little screen. Another small issue, at least for me, an issue for me is that when you're pumping, because of these new connectors and because of the fact that they're not see-through, they take up a little portion of the top of the bottle. So if you are somebody who pumps and likes to fill their bottle all the way to the top, you can't see. So I'm going to put my thumb right here. You can't see the top little bit of your bottle. So now either you can just stop a little bit early, or you can keep pumping blindly and kind of like live dangerously, and kind of, I don't know, maybe eyeball, or I don't know, just guesstimate where you're going, where you want to stop, and if you've reached the top yet or not. So that's just a small thing that I find a little bit annoying. I know there's some people who have an issue with the fact, I kind of had an issue with the fact that these bottles are pretty top heavy because of the connectors. So if you don't want to risk it when you're pumping, always just have the stand on your bottle. So these stands are pretty light. I pump with the stand on, and I don't find them to be too heavy or anything like that, but it just it saves you the danger of filling your bottle, putting it down, it topples over, your liquid gold is wasted. It's better to just have the stand on, and it makes it pretty sturdy. So, solution. The other thing I just want to mention, now this is a small thing as well, but so this is a double pump, but it can be used as a single pump. If you take one of the tubes, stick it into this hole that they provide so that the suction here is stopped, the air doesn't escape, you can use it as a single pump. Now, I find this to be true with most double pumps, is that when you try to use them as single pumps, the suction is not as good, because I feel like this is not very airtight. So most people who buy a double pump would probably want to use it as a double pump. It's very rare that you'd want to use it. I mean, at least for me, it's very rare that I ever want to use this pump or any pump as a single pump. If my baby didn't properly nurse on both sides and I'm feeling lopsided, maybe I'll use it as a single pump quickly. But just know, if you do that, the suction doesn't feel as strong. The last thing I want to mention is that this pump is not cheap. At $375 Canadian, it is on the pricier side for pumps. It's only $75 more than its predecessor, but overall, $375 Canadian is, not cheap. But if you are thinking of buying a pump and style, I would probably go for this one over the other one, because what you get for that extra $375 with the better technology and everything, all the pros that I mentioned, I feel like it's totally worth it. But yeah, not cheap. So now I know I've mentioned a lot of cons, but I will say, do I recommend this or not? Yes, I absolutely recommend this pump, because for me, I think this is going to be my go-to pump now. The most important thing for me when I'm looking for a pump is a pump that can make me, give me more output in a shorter amount of time, so I'm not stuck pumping for a really long time. And that's what this pump does. So this newer technology that they claim will give you 11.8% more milk, I found it to actually be true. So despite all the things that I said I didn't like, I would still buy this pump, because it's cutting down the amount of time I'm sitting down hooked to it, and I feel like the pros definitely do outweigh the cons. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.